Good morning. I'm having some Life cereal and my cup of tea, and I don't know why, but my phone is going off like crazy, and it's all just like Facebook notifications. And then I got, the tea I got is Twinings green tea with jasmine. So this should have some caffeine in it, which I kind of need this morning, I think. So the plan today, I absolutely have to make some cookies today, or some baked goods or candy or something. I got to get started on that stuff. My family brought over some cookies and jams and jellies and things that they made, and I think I'm going to show that to you later, what I got. And then me and Bianca are planning on my brain just fell out. Oh, we're planning on watching the Santa Claus tonight, and I'm making goulash. It's a recipe that I found, like, I don't know, last winter, I think, or something. And it's really, really good. Maybe I'll film that too, because it's a really, really good recipe for goulash. Some people call it American chop suey, but the way my grandmother made it actually is not as good as this recipe. My grandmother would just take a can of like stewed tomatoes and mix it in with some cooked macaroni elbows, you know, and some ground beef, and she would just mix that together and put some salt and pepper on it, and that was her American chop suey. And this stuff is way better. What's it called? Old-fashioned goulash is what it's called. And I found it on Pinterest. I changed it, of course, a little bit. I don't put as much beef in it as they do. Because I can't afford to put that much beef in it, to be honest. Beef is expensive. Ground beef even is expensive. I went to Price Chopper last night, and I was like, we couldn't go to Aldi's because Aldi's closes at 8, which is something that annoys me about Aldi's, but because, especially now, because my boyfriend, you know, he goes to work at like 5:30 in the morning, and sometimes he doesn't come back. Depending on the job, he doesn't get back home until, you know, like 7 o'clock, or last night it was like 7:30, and we got ready, and he was doing something, and by the time, you know, the roads were like snowy and stuff, by the time we got there, it was like 8:10, so it was closed. And I put a quarter in and everything, and just like, I was thinking to myself, wow, there aren't many people here. I get to the door, and the door like doesn't open, and I was like, oh. I looked at the sign, I was like, 8, and then I looked at my phone, I was like, oh, crap. And I had to tell him, and he was not happy at all, because it cost us like twice the amount of money. Like, seriously, twice the amount of money to go shopping at Price Chopper or Hannaford's. It's just insane, the difference. Now, there are things that we buy at Price Chopper, Hannaford's, Walmart, Target, whatever, because they have, you know, brands that we like or whatnot, and Aldi's is pretty much their brands or whatever they have. But I mean, a lot of stuff we buy at Aldi's, we go to Aldi's first and buy what we can there, and then we go to the other places, because, I mean, it's just such a huge difference. I was really mad, because I was just like, honestly, and I was so emotional yesterday, I almost cried in the grocery store over it. I was just like, we're spending so much money right now, and we don't have this money to spend, and I was upset. You know how it is. I mean, he was without work for like a month, so we're trying to play catch up, but it's also Christmas time, and it's just, that makes it a little difficult for us. And I don't usually talk about this sort of thing on the YouTube channel, because I feel like it's very personal, but, you know, I'm sure there are plenty of you that, you know, have gone through financial troubles or whatnot, and it's not even that bad. Trust me, I have been worse off in my life. When Bianca was little at one point, I had managed to get, we were living in Albany, I had managed to get an apartment that was only like, what was it? It was like $400 or $500 a month. I can't remember now. It was super cheap. Like, even but for then, it was really cheap. And the people seemed really nice, and that's another story. But I had, the money I had coming in, because I just left my husband, was very little. And we were living off of, like, nothing. Because the money I had coming in was, like, $600. Around that every month. And it was just, it was like $150 a week. And so, and they wouldn't give me food stamps. I went to try and get that stuff to help, you know, and they wouldn't give them to me because they said that even though I was no longer with my husband, we were still married, and so forth. It was his responsibility. I found out later, like when I moved to Vermont, I found out from social workers and such that work here that the stuff that they said to me in Albany and the welfare office, whatever you want to call it, a lot of it was just outright lies. Like, you can't do that, not even in the state of New York. But those are all sorts of other stories. I could tell you some really bad horror stories about when I was living there. I met some nice people while I was living there in Albany, but I had a lot of just a lot of horrible times too, which is why I like had to leave. But besides all that, yeah, we were living off of nothing. And it was awful, just awful. But I did it. I I eventually got a roommate that helped a bit, and then other things happened and I had to leave there. But things got better. And I could certainly tell anybody that's been through these kind of situations, you know, just like, you know, they say with bullying, it gets better. Well, if you're in a bad situation like that, it can get better. It takes a long time sometimes, but it can get better. And it's better for me too, but it's not perfect. But I don't think it's perfect for anybody right now. Most people are in bad financial situations. People that are working very hard, and yet they still don't have enough. And it's just really sad. So, and I'm talking about really sad things at Christmas time, but I think it's really important for us to remember this time of the year that there are people that don't have a lot. And please make sure to donate toys or money or food to your local food pantries, things like that, because there are people that really need it. Good people. People that want their lives to be better. People that want jobs but haven't been able to get them. People that have jobs but they just don't make enough money. I mean, there's so many situations that people can be in that, you know, I hear people make awful judgments and it makes me so upset because, you know, they talk to me like I'm going to agree with them. And it's like, dude, you don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. You think you know me because you know who I am now, but you don't know the things I've been through. And then when I tell them, it's always like, oh, you're different. No, I'm not. I'm not any different than those people that you are putting down. Not. They're going through some of the things that I went through. And nobody wants to live like that. I have so many friends that are social workers, and we talk about these things because they deal with this every day. With people who are trying so hard, and yet they just can't. There's not enough help for them to get out of their situation. And the whole, like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing, they don't have any straps to pull themselves up by. Like, there's not enough. And my boyfriend was really lucky to find a job as quickly as he did. I have some other friends who have been trying desperately to find work and just make out applications, but nobody hires them. And, you know, people don't realize for, you know, there are people out there that, yeah, there are jobs, but some of those jobs are so picky about who they hire that, you know, and they get like 100 people that come in for that same job. They're only hiring one. What do you think happens to the other 99 people? I mean, there are people out there that are trying really hard and they just can't make it the way that they would like to. But if any of you are watching this, please know that I care about you. And please just keep trying. Keep trying. Because if you give up, then no, you're never going to get out of your situation. That's definite. But if you try, I can't say that you will, but you have a much higher chance of it. And I've known people who were living in very bad situations who are doing much better now. And like I said, just like my life, it's not perfect, but it's better. It's better than what it was before. And you know what? Just hold your family close and hold your friends close and love each other and try not to judge each other and you'll be okay. So my skin's like really irritated. I'm gonna try this sheet mask that I got in my Ipsy bag. Feel Brilliant Bamboo Charcoal Facial Sheet Mask. Powerful detoxifier and pore minimalizer. Feel and look your best. Active charcoal deeply purifies and detoxifies pores, removes oil, reduces blemishes, and clears clogged pores. Hyaluronic acid to tone skin. Mask made of non-woven bamboo fiber. Okay. It says to use weekly. Cleanse skin and dry. Okay, I've done that. Apply facial mask to skin and leave on for at least 30 minutes. Wow. Seems like these things are like getting longer and longer, the amount of minutes that you use. Because it used to be like 10 to 15, then it was 15, 20. This one's like 30. It's like, seems kind of crazy to me. Oh, I'm already uncomfortable. Why, oh why? Ugh. Okay. Okay, problem is most of my irritated skin is below where this is going, so I'm trying to drag the serum down a bit so that it gets into that skin. So yeah, I have to wait 30 minutes. Aloe is in it. Castor oil, raspberry ketone, soybean ferment extract, willow bark extract. I'm not reading off everything because some of them I don't even know how to say. Cypress leaf extract, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, if I don't know how to say it, that makes it bad. No, it doesn't. I mean, lots of scientific things that are good for you are words that we can't say. Skullcap root extract, cinnamon cassia bark extract, jojoba seed oil, allantoin, I don't know what this is, royal jelly extract. I mean, I could spend all my time looking all this stuff up if I wanted to, but it just doesn't interest me. Xanthan gum, shea butter. The last ingredient is the charcoal powder. There's a lot of stuff in it. Yeah. So I'm gonna watch some TV, I think, while this is on, and then I'll come back. I'll let you know how I feel about it. So, my skin's still kind of red, but I think it was a nice mask. My skin definitely feels better, more cool than it did before. And even though it's still irritated, it's not like burning like it was before. So that's good. I don't know about the other things it claims to do. Purifies and detoxifies pores and stuff. I mean, but you know, most sheet masks are pretty much the same as far as I'm concerned. I did find this one to be very, very comfortable to wear, which I suspect is the bamboo fiber. So that was nice. So yeah, I might play with some makeup later. Yeah, so this is some of the stuff that I got. I think this is mint jelly, which I don't even like mint jelly, but maybe my daughter will like mint jelly. We'll see. And this is some apple butter. And this is blueberry marmalade, blackberry raspberry. This is some tomato jam. And we have some peach vanilla jam. We also had some spicy maple bourbon pickles, which I only like sour and dill pickles. So, and they are like sweet spicy ones. So, and Bianca's face doesn't look like she likes it. Is it mint?
I don't taste it. I only taste lime.
Oh, maybe it's lime then. It's lime jelly?
Like,
I'm gonna stick my finger at. This is not
what we usually do.
Yeah.
Does it oddly taste like lime?
I don't know what that is.
It's not mint. It would be stronger than that because mint is a pretty strong herb.
It tastes like Sprite.
Sprite
it reminds,
jelly.
Yeah, like Sprite jelly. I don't know.
She made us some Sprite jelly.
Whatever, my family. Yeah, so John had the pickles and he'll probably eat them because Bianca doesn't like spicy pickles. So, although he said they weren't very spicy. So I think, this is going to have to go in the fridge now because you opened it.
It was already opened.
And no, it wasn't. It was sealed.
It wasn't screwed on tight then.
Well, this part doesn't have to be as long as this part's sealed.
Oh.
Trying to decide which one do I want. I think I want the peach vanilla. So. And I'm going to have some on some toast. Eating goulash. Watching the Santa Claus. Hey, and of course sugar's in the way again. I'm going to do the wax melt first. So today's wax melt is so fresh and so green. Corey is not only a part of the Ideas team, but also helps in wax production. Plus, he is married to Lainey. He misses his home state of California, so his scent is strawberries, kiwi, and lemon lime fizz. Let me find that one. You can look at Sugar's back. Oh, so many smells coming out of here. That's not it. Usually I pick this out ahead of time. That would have been the smart thing to do. Ah, found it. So here's the artwork. There we go. Now I'm gonna sniff it. Oh, I like that. I like this one a lot. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm gonna burn it today because I'm not sure if it's the right scent for me today, but it does smell really, really freaking good. You know, I have another wax burner, some wax melter thingy somewhere, and I should hook it up somewhere so I could do these as well. So yeah, it was today's that. Now, honey, sugar, here we go. There's the next countdown. Today's the 14th. Oh, that one actually worked out without tearing. So it is a NYX Butter Lipstick in the color Root Beer Float. I wish it smelled like root beer. Wouldn't that have been awesome? That's the color. I don't know why it's called Root Beer Float. Oh my goodness, sugar. But because it doesn't look like root beer float to me, I would expect it to be brown. But I do like this color. I like it a lot. So I'll be keeping that one. Because, you know, I gave my daughter a bunch of them that I didn't care for. So that's that today. And I just gotta make some candy stuff that I want to make. And that will probably be it for today. And tomorrow, of course, the color will be this one. So I'm gonna show you how to make Christmas crack. The first thing you do is you line a baking sheet with foil. And you want it to be like a jelly roll type baking sheet like this so that there's an edge or it won't work right. Like I have other baking sheets that are just flat. You don't want to do that with this. So you see, seeing part of my kitchen that's kind of a little messy right now because I got so much going on. So you're gonna line this with crackers. Okay. Like so. And just line them up. This has become like a favorite with people. It's incredibly addicting and really yummy. See what I like to do? I kind of like to do this. So yeah, just some regular saltines. I like the salted ones for this, but some people might prefer unsalted. But I think the little bit of salt intensifies, you know, the flavor. But that's just me. I mean, you could get reduced fat ones. You could do whatever makes you comfortable. Make a try. Sometimes they overlap a little bit. That's okay. So, yeah. Just keep lining them up. Usually takes about a whole sleeve to make them. So, where you could spread them out a little bit more. And here I only have one cracker left. I love a saltine. So the next part's a little bit trickier. I'll get right to it in a second here. So the next part is the tricky part. And you're going to want to melt 2 sticks of butter. Some people would prefer the unsalted. I like to use salted in this. Whatever is your preference. A lot of people like to use unsalted so that they can control the salt content in things, but I think in this case it's not really needed. So you want 2 sticks of butter and a cup of brown sugar. Now, it doesn't say packed. I don't think it really matters too much if it's packed or not. The rain is not there today. So, just a cup of brown sugar. This stuff is so good. I mean, it's unbelievable. If you make this, you're gonna tell me that your family loves it, and unless you're somebody that doesn't like sweets. I mean, my whole family likes sweets and like Christmas candy and stuff. They'll like this. So, sorry about that. Had to reach over. Spoon I usually like to use is in here, so we're gonna use this one. So, I mean, if you want, you can break the butter down a little bit, you know. But, and then you're going to want to melt this, and then heat it until it's gently boiling, and you have to stir it constantly. After it's melted, you have to stir it constantly so that it is gently boiling, as I said. So we'll come back to that. So after it starts to like do a low boil, then you turn the heat down to low, and as it boil, like, see, it's boiling. You want to keep boiling and cooking it uncovered for 3 to 5 minutes until the mixture is nice and thickened and all the sugar is dissolved. So I keep stirring it. It doesn't say to, but I think it's a good idea to keep stirring it, because if it burns, the whole thing's ruined. So you have to make sure that it doesn't burn, because if it burns, then you have to start all over again. That's a waste of a lot of butter. Right? So, and you know, this is the trickiest part, is making sure it doesn't burn. Also, I forgot to say at the beginning here, you need to set your oven at 400. There is a small amount of baking in this recipe. Not a lot, but there's a small amount. So, now it's all nice and thick and everything. And what you want to do now is pour it right over your saltines. So, and try to get it as even as possible. This part can be a little difficult sometimes too, because the saltines kind of want to move around. But this is all like worth your time, trust me. So good. So try to get it spread out to the edges as much as possible. This side definitely needs some help here. Trying to get as much as I can on everything. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Then you're going to want to put it in the oven for 5 so here it is in the oven. You can see it's all bubbly, which is good. And You want to let it cool for a few minutes. So we're going to go with 3, and then we spread the chocolate chips on top. So what we've done here is you put a package, it says 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, but I used a whole package. And then I pop it in the oven for about a minute. The instructions in the recipe says 20 seconds, but I find that this works much better. And then you want to just spread that chocolate out as best you can all over. Really get in there. And see how easy, like, yeah, it's a little tricky. You got to keep an eye on it. And there's several steps. But, I mean, it's 4 ingredients. And can be made pretty quickly. And then you just put it in the fridge to let it set. If you want, you can put some sprinkles on it. You know? I do that sometimes, and I'm probably going to do it this time. I'm trying to get every little bit. Sometimes some of the cracker ends up showing through, but that's okay. So, I'm going to get some sprinkles. Where are my sprinkles? You know I have some. Where are your sprinkles? There you are. Oh, those are Halloween ones. We don't want Halloween sprinkles. We want the latest in sprinkle technology. Which seems to have disappeared. Look at that. I had some sprinkles. Okay. I bought some new ones. Of course, they don't want to open. There we go. Once they say they don't want to, then they magically open, right? Isn't that the way? So, yeah. You don't have to do this. You could do it regular, but I like to add some sprinkles. And then after that, it's going to be, the pan's still going to be pretty hot. So, you're probably going to stain your pot holder a little bit with chocolate. Find a spot in the fridge to put it, which hopefully won't be too difficult. It might be for me. So here we go. And what I like to do is just kind of lift it up out and peel off the foil as best you can. Okay. And you just start breaking it into pieces like that. So tasty. So, there you go. Yum yum. Please remember to share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Bye, kitty cats.